there is one such school in Badung, Bali called Green School Bali, which have become a beacon for sustainable education.
So how did this school start and what makes it different from your conventional school? Well, we're going to find out by connecting with Green School Bali's Head of Teaching and Learning, Mr. Sal Gordon. Good morning, Sal. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. How are you? Thanks for
Great.
having me on the show.
Awesome. So let's just talk a little bit about Green School Bali. What is it all about? What is the mission and purpose of Green School Bali?
Yeah, the mission of Green School, we are a community of learners making our world sustainable. We believe that the purpose of schools should be to make the world a better place. You know, a school, we think, should be more than a place where you just learn information, get tested, and at the end get a final grade. We believe that schools should be places where a community can come together, learn together, share and celebrate, and that learning can have a positive impact on the world. We all want a sustainable future, right?
Yeah.
Unless you've got another Earth ready to live on. So we believe that schools and learning at school should be connected to nature and it should be connected to the real world. That schools can make the world a better place.
That's
Learning
amazing.
can be fun, it can be nature-based, and it can connect people and cultures.
Yeah, amazing. And how did it start, Assault? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. The school was a dream of John and Cynthia Hardy in 2008. It was founded. They wanted to create a different model of education, and this included a different learning environment where it was nature-based in the jungle with beautiful wall-less bamboo classroom buildings. The learning community where we are all learners, where our parents are part of the learning experience, where we all add to the school, and where we connect our local and global communities. And of course, a learning program that is real, that is connected to the real world, where we've moved beyond the traditional learning model and we've brought education and student experiences sort of out of a time capsule that it's been stuck in since the Industrial Revolution. Green School Bali started as a small school in the jungle. Then there was Green School New Zealand and Green School South Africa. And now Green School is really fortunate to be a part of a global education movement called Education in Motion, founded by Fraser White and Karen Young. And we've connected now with a lot of other top-range international schools like the Dulwich International School. So it's a very exciting time for us.
Right.
Wow.
So we're seeing images of it right now, and prior to our conversation, I've had a look at your facilities as well. So obviously, your facilities are different, and because you're connected with nature, I'm sure a lot of your teachings offer a different perspective as well. But let's talk a little bit about the curriculum. What sort of curriculum do you offer that is different than your conventional school? And how do the levels break down? Do you still follow the same levels as you do? Because the conventional school would start from 2 levels of kindergarten, then you have your elementary school, middle school, and high school. How does it go in Green School Bali?
Yeah, we've got 4 schools in one. We've got the pre-K and kindergarten, our primary school, middle school and high school. But don't be fooled, it looks quite different and our programs are quite different, but we're a real school and we have Indonesian SBCAR accreditation, we have a WASC international accreditation. So although we do things differently, our students do graduate and they go to universities all around. We still teach amazing literacy and mathematics and science, but we do things differently. We access our gardens a lot. We learn by the river, we learn at the oceans, we learn in the community. We really think that the world is our campus and nature is our campus. It's funny, we shouldn't really have to think about ways to connect students to nature because, we are nature.
Yeah.
But a significant difference for us is that we've designed our own international curriculum. It is based on best practice other international curriculums. But we've moved away from the sort of what I think is meaningless rote learning of information and standardized assessment. We know now that learning skills are really important, skills like communication, collaboration, problem solving, thinking critically. And we teach a lot straight to those skills. We also think values-based learning is really important. If we think about integrity and community and sustainability, equity and empathy, these should be parts of a learning program, and they're huge at Green School Bali. We also teach outside of the box a lot. Life isn't really segmented when you enter the real world. We teach a lot of integrated units. So we might teach a theme like oceans or consumption and production, social justice, poverty, hunger, education, and we'll integrate all types of learning experiences. So music, maths, literacy, languages, visual art, science, history, geography, and then we provide students to do something with that learning now. When I went to school, all I did was learn for an exam. But we provide students to do something with all this amazing learning about the real world through projects, entrepreneurship, and community service.
Wow.
Learning's got to be more than just for an exam. Schools have got to move away from this concept of just learning information for an exam. I believe that schools can make the world a better place.
Yeah.
And that won't happen if schools kids are just learning for exams.
I couldn't agree with you more, Sal, because I, like you, went to school decades ago, and I do believe that a lot of, and as my friends as well, who I've kept in touch with, we always found that a lot of the stuff that we studied were broken off into subjects, and those subjects, if you look at how it's applied these days for us in life, most of it isn't really being used the way it was taught. Yeah,
True.
especially with the world changing over time as well. Speaking of, you mentioned a bit about not studying strictly for exams. Do your exams or your testing system work the same way? And if not, how does it differ? And how do you grade your students?
Yeah, we ask our students to reflect and assess themselves a lot. Yep. In our high school program, they do homework and they do have tests and exams.
Right.
It is a part of the assessment, but we like to see students get up and present their learning to the community or their entrepreneurial projects that are successful outside of the community. It's important that when you think about assessing for skills or learning and assessing for skills, that we're all learning these skills. Right now, I'm trying to upskill on communication.
You're doing great.
And when you talk about values-based learning, values-based learning is an action thing. We have to provide an opportunity for students or for us all to experience a value, to experience empathy or peace, to play a part in a sustainable future. And then there's the reflection cycle where you're thinking about what impact that had, how that made you feel, and then you go on and you experience and do those values again. So we have normal testing, we have some homework, but we definitely don't test one size fits all, and it's not the only way that we assess.
Gosh, I wish Green School Valley was around when I was a kid.
So the student is confirmed they have a lot of things to do.
Yes, absolutely.
And
more relevant.
is there any...
Love coming to school, actually.
Right. Yeah. Is there any particular requirement must be fulfilled, like age range or anything additionally to enter or enroll to get into the school?
Oh, we're a growing school. We did drop our numbers through COVID, but we're quite full at the moment. We have wait lists across the school. We have students that are from 3-year-old to 18. There isn't really a requirement, and there's not really sort of the best age to start. When we're talking about learning in nature and for nature, I think that we're looking for students and we're looking for parents who want to take the opportunities to learn inside a different school model, that want to access and engage the educational experience and make a difference with their learning, whether it's make a difference in their own world or make a difference in our local community or make a difference like many of our students do on a global stage.
Yeah.
So we talked about the benefits. Obviously, the benefits are obvious of having a school like this. But what are some of the challenges that the school faces? Obviously, the pandemic being one of them, but now that we're coming out of it, what are some of the challenges that you face, the students face, when you have these nature-inspired teachings or activities?
I think when you learn in and for nature, one of the biggest challenges is to be able to adapt very quickly. You can be outside with a lesson ready to go, and then a nice Balinese tropical rainstorm comes along and changes everything.
That's true.
Of course, I think the biggest challenges in life are also the greatest opportunities. I think many schools, when they're thinking about educating in nature, the biggest challenge for them is access to nature. We obviously don't have that problem. The challenge for us may be with students, families from more than 40 countries around the world. The big challenge is to reset the mindset of students and parents that learning in and about for nature can be as good as a traditional education model. It rains, the jungle is hot, our campus is rugged, but it's the real world here. Look, it gets a little bit dirty sometimes. In general, the advantages of being outside, it's good for your soul, it's good for your mind, it's good for your body. The challenges are there, but I don't see a lot of challenges that we don't use as opportunities.
No, and
Yeah.
I think some of those things that you mentioned at the end, I don't even see it as much of a downside because we're seeing some of the images as well. My child, actually, I have a 2-year-old going on 3. He responds so much better when I do take him out to nature and
Yeah.
get himself dirty and plays outside in the rain or in the mud, and
Yeah.
it's when he's actually at his finest. So I do believe that there's a lot of benefits to those things.
Exactly, and like the kids, especially the younger one, will align with the energy, with the
Of
nature
course.
and everything. So I think it can trigger the creativity and the spirit to learn
For sure.
more close to nature. So Sal, you mentioned about there is no such a challenge that you face it probably, but still, we know that today's we're living in a gadget era. Kids are become gadget native somehow.
Yeah.
And
That's a
that
challenge.
become a problem, right? Today's digital world where they spend so much time playing games or anything, and probably it will affect their social and emotional capacity. Moreover, what role does outdoor activities play in this matter?
Yeah, look, we know it's a digital world, and kids. I have my own children, and kids will be kids. They love being on screens and playing
Yeah.
games. We don't ignore the digital and the technological world. We try to integrate it, I suppose, as well. But in general, when you're talking about benefits of being in nature, we're talking about serotonin and endorphins and melatonin. We're talking about those real hormones that make us healthy and happy. When you're talking about connecting with nature and feeling a part of nature, there's nothing more special than that for a learner. It does have a direct impact, a positive impact on the social and emotional well-being of students. So even though all kids around the world are probably spending a little bit too much time on their screens, being at Green School Bali in the jungle for 8 hours and spending so much of the time in nature is really an amazing way for a child to spend a big proportion of their time as in their youth.
Yeah.
In reconnecting with nature, let's really sort of be mindful that we are presented with significant environmental challenges, and they're going to be more significant in the future. Reconnecting with nature and being in awe of nature, feeling the sunshine, breathing the fresh air,
Right.
noticing a butterfly, getting your hands dirty, playing in the mud.
Aw.
These are really important things, and the really first important step of developing a relationship with nature that will make you want to protect it. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not worried about the future. I don't spend my time worrying, but I know that in the future, the environmental challenges with pollution and climate change, and we've got to start looking after this place. And the first way that we can do it is providing that connection, that reconnection with nature for all of us to experience the beauty and the amazing awe of this planet that we live on. It's so amazing. We need to get out of the cement jungle. We need to get out of those classrooms and start being in nature, learning for nature.
Couldn't have said
Wow.
it better ourselves. I always tell people that how do we expect our kids to care about the climate change
Yeah.
issues in the future
Yeah.
if they don't understand anything about it,
Exactly.
if they don't see it, if they don't feel it,
They have
and
to
if they
feel
don't love
close
the
with the
environment.
nature.
If they love nature, then
Yes.
they'll want to protect
Love
it.
it.
Absolutely. Sal, thank you so much for your time. If you guys want to know more, please do check out www.greenschool.org. There you can find out all the information that you need as well. If you are like us that sometimes get a little bit on social media,
Yeah.
well, you can check out Green School Bali there as well. They're on Instagram at Green School Bali. And guys, check out all the images out there. It's amazing. I can't
Amazing.
wait to at least make a visit my next time out in Bali.
Thank you so much, Sal.
Thank you for your time, and we appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much. Have a great day.
All right. You had a
Take
great
care.
first appearance on TV. We certainly hope it's
Amazing.
not your last. Take care. Have a great week.
Thanks very much.
Take care.